Hello, fellow cinephiles, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Talk Film to Me podcast, where we talk about films in Kenya and beyond. I'm your host, Nkatha. Let's talk film. So today I am not alone, like I said. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen I mentioned that I will not be doing the review of Nafsi alone. So I am joined by a guest today. She's a producer I have worked with. Actually, something interesting. She was the producer for the first international film that I did as a costume designer. So she's somebody I really respect, actually. I do. I know Nemo, that sounds like but I'm really serious. So I'll let her introduce herself and then we can get into the film.
Wait, how many gas up? Where do I even start? You've told people international film wataanza kuniangalia differently huko nje.
Wanafaa kuangalia differently huko nje.
But anyway, thank you for having me. My name is Nimoh Githinji, or Nimoh. I am a creative producer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What does creative producer mean? Yeah.
My understanding of creative producer, normally most of the films that I produce, I also have creative input. Either it is my original concept or I will be part of the creative process. So I don't just produce, so hence creative producer.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not, I mean, now that you've explained it, I'm like, yeah, makes sense. Creative producer. Because
Yes.
producers wengine, they're not creative, they're just producers looking for money and the people.
Their gigs I just produce. Someone else did all the work, came up with the concept, or worked with a writer who had a concept. You're just now bringing the people together and bringing the film to life, versus it's your own either idea or it is you who's carried the creative and then the entire project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, guys, Nimo and I are going to be reviewing Nafsi. If you haven't watched it, it's on Netflix. Please just pause and go and watch, because here we give spoilers. If you haven't watched it and then you listen to this, you're probably not going to watch it.
We are spoiling.
We'll spoil it for you. So I'll give a quick intro about the film and then we'll get into the review. So, like I said, Nafsi is on Netflix. It's a long film. It's a feature film which runs over runtime of about 2 hours 17 minutes. It's directed and written by Ruben Odanga. I know Ruben for Selena. And Ruben is from, I think he's the owner of Molten Productions, no?
I am also not sure.
But I think so.
Corrected.
We stand to be corrected. Exactly. We stand to be corrected. And it's a drama that, wow, I feel like this film has so many prominent themes, but the main one is surrogacy. So let's say it follows the surrogacy journey between two friends. As we go about, like in the film, you'll understand what I'm talking about, but have the word surrogacy at the top of your head. It was released in November 6th, 2021. We're in 2024, guys. So film ni ya kitambo. But I think the issue that it tackled and also other issues in the film are as relevant in 2021 as they're relevant this year and probably even next year and the next and the next.
Yeah.
Because there are social issues, yeah. So again, finally, the cast, we had Kate Actress, of course, we know her, we love her, Grand Little Lie, Disconnect. We had Mombi Minor. I think I love her from Salem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And second, my second family, that's what it's called, no?
Yeah.
Alfred Moinua from Crime and Justice, Mr. Detective.
He just has a way with that role.
He just did. Honestly, he just did. Where?
Yeah.
And then Alex Mwakideu, I think I've had him on radio. Nilikuwa surprised. This man acts. Nilikuwa
Same.
surprised. Sindio?
Yeah, I know him more for radio than film.
Yeah, so nilikuwa too surprised like, unafanya nini huko? But he did a good job. He did a good
Yeah.
job. Then we have Alex Kyle, who was Biko. I've never heard of his name, but I know I've seen that face elsewhere. I just
Same.
don't know where.
I actually
Mm,
had to Google the cast list so that I can get his name.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
I've seen your face, but I don't even know your name. So his name is Alex Kyle. Then we had Raymond Ofuila. Of course, we know the OG.
All-time favorite.
I know this man from Better Days. Alka Better Days.
Imagine.
Hey man, I watched him when I was a babe. Okay, a baby is telling my age. I'm not that young. I'm an old enough woman. But yeah, like from Better
Moving on
Days.
to
Moving on
uh,
swiftly. And then Rolia Sandra Dacha reminds me of this guy we went to campus with. Na role yake ilikuwa he played the dead person. So hakuonekana but tunajua like ni yeye. So Sandra ilikuwa tu picha yake and was like, that's very interesting. I'd want
wow.
to know, like
Mhm.
you as a producer, how much such a character is paid. Juu ni uso yake tu on a picture ndio imetumika. Like that's
Me
interesting.
too. Me too. I'm also
Sindio?
trying to learn such things because I'm pretty sure there's a reason why it was her and not just anyone.
Anyone, yeah.
There has to be some thought process behind it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Then there were other people, but also I saw Gerald Langiri on this as a doctor. I saw Dr. Zippy, of course,
Yes.
and Peter Kawa. Did I see Peter Kawa? Like nilimwona kwa list, but
He
I watched this
was.
film few times. He was, yeah. Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
was
He
in
was
the
the
in
doctor
the
from back
flashback.
then.
Yes.
Yes, yes. I've just remembered. Yeah, yeah. Is there anybody else I'm forgetting? Like
Silayo.
oh my God, Silayo, girl, I'm sorry, but yo, Silayo was in this. I think okay, we'll get to the part about the music score, but this girl can sing and,
Oh
and create
yeah.
good music. Yeah.
Watch her too.
Mm. And Monique Bet, like again, I've seen her face, but I can't remember where I've seen her face. I know
Mm.
she's done a project which I've seen, but I can't remember which one. So that's like literally this cast is like the A-list cast. Niko tu like where
Yeah, Ruben had done his homework.
Ben had done his homework for real. Now guess what the budget was?
Uh-huh.
Let us do the math in Kenyan shillings. So approximately they had a budget of $60,000.
What?
Yeah, I know.
If I just add after the 2 zeros, that's over 6M.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
because we're like, okay, you guys had a very, very good budget. So, guys, that's literally like the whole cast. Crew, by the way, I've just realized I never talk about the crew. I promise, guys, from next episode, ndakwana mention crew here. I mean,
You
sisi ndo
should.
crew. How could I forget myself? But yeah, on the cast and the director and the director and the writer is the same person, Ruben Odanga, and then the
Yeah.
producer. I think I saw Dina Mwende. Dina. I've never heard of her. I
I,
guess sijafanya homework yangu vizuri.
well, I am also not commenting because
Okay.
I was very busy looking up the cast. I forgot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, let's get into it. We'll start with the cinematography. I'd like to know what you think, considering you as a producer already, by the time like you're sourcing people out, you know exactly what you're looking for and what they're going to give you. What did you think about the cinematography in this film?
I loved it. Again, I think Ruben had done his homework. I know,
Mhm,
again, I stand to be corrected, but I think there was a time when either he spoke about the film or before it came out, there was
mhm.
that whole story about how he did his research over, I think, months or years so that he could
Mhm.
understand the surrogacy and all that. So I
Yeah,
know while he was doing this, the prepping for the story, I
yeah,
want to imagine the cinematography was also part of the prep, and I could
yeah.
see it. I could
Okay.
see it in the different scenes, in the different emotions, in the different
Mm-hmm.
colors. I have to
Yeah.
rewatch it so that I can confirm. But then I'm not just imagining. So I say, the color, what
Yeah.
it actually had different colors for the different emotions and the different scenes, and you could see
Mm.
the executions. Kuna scenes zingine ulikuwa tu, oh my god,
Yeah.
mulitibamba.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
What I think, like, I enjoyed the cinematography, but I don't know. I guess this thing called comparison will kill me one day.
Uh-huh.
Because I think I'm comparing it to some films, but then I'm telling myself this film was shot in 2021. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
the knowledge we have had as an industry from 2021 to now
To now.
2024 has
Mm-hmm.
definitely grown. But there were like some shots which was like unaimbaimba sana, like the camera was ndasemaje. I think you could tell it was either handheld, and there
Mm-hmm.
are certain scenes which
Mm-hmm.
like a handheld shot is perfect for, and then some you just get lost in looking at the shot. So I
Mm.
feel like the job was well done, but for some scenes, sometime like for some scenes,
Mm-hmm.
camera ilikuwa ina dance kidogo, and then as a filmmaker, I noticed that, and then all of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm taken away from the story. But I don't know if the audience watches with that perspective, seeing na ni nini camera in a dance. But if I think again
Uh-huh.
of it that way,
Mm-hmm.
according to audience psychology, probably somebody ends up thinking, okay, something will happen after this. So maybe they see it, maybe they don't. I don't know. But yeah, some shots you could just tell this is lacking. But generally, like you said,
Uh-huh.
the color, like nilikuwa watch the film like na color, like it was very deliberate. Like it
Yeah.
had a certain mood. There were no too bright colors. Like it was
Exactly.
you could see the theme, and it was very consistent from beginning to the end of the film. So I loved that about it. I just wish all the shots were consistent as well compared to the
Mm.
theme. Yeah.
Okay. Hear you.
Okay. Light, sound, location.
Hey, I think I will start with sound.
Okay.
There's just something, and this is
Mm,
something I'm starting to learn. How I enjoy films does not necessarily mean it's how most films are made or they should be
yeah.
made, but I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy a film that can carry me both visually and with the sound. From
Yeah.
the conversation, the scripting of the conversations, how real it is. It doesn't feel
Mm-hmm.
too borrowed.
Yeah.
To what is it called, the scoring,
Oh
like
yeah.
how the scoring is done.
Mm-hmm.
I just enjoy music, so nice
Mm,
amazing scoring just does something to the film, and it doesn't even have
yeah.
to be like the original compositions. There's some parts you could
Yeah.
tell that soundtrack just carries that mood, and you're
Mm,
just there, like you just want to be there wiping your katia and all that. I really enjoyed the sound. I
yeah.
did the locations. I
Yeah.
loved the hospital, the when there was a lot of movement. The hospital, the
Mm. Oh
shags,
yeah. Yeah.
Kinamombi's shags. I loved that
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
the design,
The
everything was
track.
just beautiful. Ah,
Mm.
with the Napier grass and everything, it was just like, yeah,
Autumn
this is
like
shags.
yeah.
This is
Mm.
Cambo. This is Cambo. You can't tell me anything. The
Walisema ni kwa
apartments.
Waluya.
I know. No, like when I saw the Napier grass, I was just like, yeah, it's giving shags.
Mm, mm, mm.
And even the apartments, I loved
Yeah.
Mumbi's apartment and Silayo's apartment. It gave a vibe of this is where these stories are financially. Like it
Yeah.
created that image for me. Even when
Mm.
Kate was going through this thing with the not so boyfriend, and she was in a
Mm.
dingy-ish motel. You could tell what
Yeah.
they were trying to
Oh
paint with
yeah.
the location. So like I
Yeah.
enjoyed the variations.
Mm, mm. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, that's something by the I remember seeing I was like, this looks like a motel. And like
Mm-hmm.
I love it when I get something from seeing it immediately, other than having to like
Exactly.
really think hard about like, is it not, like you
Mm-hmm.
don't want your audience not to be sure about what you're trying to show them is while not telling them like
Ex-
this is a motel. So
Mm.
immediately seeing and knowing, okay, she's in a
It's a
motel.
hotel,
Yeah, like you
yeah.
said, yeah, it
And then you
shows like,
remember,
where are you? Mm-hmm.
even in the scene, like Kate is
Mm-hmm.
talking on the phone, but she didn't
Mm,
even have to tell anyone or whoever she was talking to. Or we got
yeah.
into a fight and I'm in a hotel.
Oh yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just there.
Mm,
Yeah, I enjoyed such
yeah.
scenes.
Okay, okay, that's nice. So for you, like the sound was perfect. Hakukuwa na situation yenye tunasikia sound iko imbalanced. The sound was okay.
To be honest, I focused more on the scoring and
Mm,
the dialogue, what they're
mm,
saying, rather than how it sounds,
mm,
because I know there's some feature films that personally I've watched. I was like, Sasa, your dialogue, surely did they have to say that, or did they do CG what? So I probably
yeah.
missed some of those things when I was like, I
Mm,
enjoy that. Like that sounds like a conversation either two friends could have or nini nini.
mm,
So I probably
mm.
missed that, honestly.
No, I think no. The minute you say you probably missed it, it means
Mhm.
there was nothing to miss. If you are able to
Yeah.
concentrate on the dialogue, it means there's no problem in sound at all. Unless mtu wa sound akuja tuambia mi nilisikia mtu akipita hapo nyuma ya boom. But for me, the sound was good.
Exactly.
Yeah, the sound
Yeah.
was good. The location, like you said, was good. I actually have a question. Watch Villains in the Metropolis.
No, I watched. Oh,
Um,
wait, I think I
mm,
have. See, it's the one with
so
Sarah Hassan.
yes, yes.
I
I
have.
don't know. I mean, this is totally unrelated. It's not even important. But Luale is in a Kaila nyumba ya villains in the Metropolis. Nyumba ya Clarence and what's her name? Shiko.
Oh,
I'm like, it looks like the same house.
now that you mention it.
Sindio?
Oh, wait.
Location managers mtupe hizi ma locations pia sisi should film huko.
Especially the bedroom. Now that you mention it. And the
Eh.
staircase.
And the
Okay.
staircase, it's the staircase that literally led me to believe it's that house. It's the staircase that led me to believe so. I was like, this is oddly familiar. Where have I seen it?
I
And then
would
I was like,
not have thought
ah,
about that. That's interesting.
yeah. The
Okay.
lighting, the lighting for this film, what do you think?
I loved it. I always say I don't call it ignorance. I am not
Mm,
the proest of proesses when it comes to cinematography, like the right or wrong and all that.
me neither.
Visually it was appealing
It was
to me.
appealing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I could see the scenes where I either needed it not to be too lit, like the emotional
Mm,
ones for Mumbi and Kate. I keep forgetting
yeah.
their character names.
Aisha and Shiko.
Aisha and Shiko, yeah. Like I could see, I
Yeah.
think, I don't know, but probably I wasn't paying attention like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Okay.
enjoyed what I saw. I don't think personally, I enjoy night
Mm,
scenes. I don't know why. There's just something
okay.
about night
About night
scenes
films.
that
Yeah.
just makes a film so amazing. So I
That's
enjoyed
because
those
like
ones.
yeah, yeah. And I think like with night scenes you're able to tell a good scene in
Yes,
terms of like the cinematography and lighting, because if you can see what you're supposed to see and hear what you're supposed to hear, and whatever
exactly.
you're supposed to see has been lit well, then that's a perfect scene.
Yeah.
So I see why you would say that.
Mm.
I've also remembered something
Hmm.
when Chico was crying after she had the conversation
Oh my god.
with Aisha.
Yeah.
Like the sound, like nilikuwa nasikia akilia huko mbali, niko tu like, oh my god, that like her cries broke my heart, and I was like, that sound is good. Whoever edited it alifanya
Same.
justice. I was like, that sounds good.
The rain.
Mm,
The like.
yeah,
There's just that scene made me cry. Honestly,
yeah.
I was just like, "How dare you? She's your
Like how dare you?
friend." I know.
Hey,
I also broke my heart.
so emotional, man. So when she was crying, niko tu first of all amekuja amenyeshewa. Niko tu
Imagine.
and another thing, like I know rain is part of set design, but as a producer, again, ebu enlighten me. Mnangojanga siku yenye kutanyesha ndo shoot. What happened?
Me,
Because the
I
rain
have
was a
fought
paid
with
actor.
directors over rain
Yeah.
because first of all, a rainmaker is hella expensive.
Yeah.
And then the actual trying to craft it and set design it sometimes doesn't look natural, especially like
Mm,
such a scene like the one Shiko was in, because you see it's very wide. I don't think there was
yeah.
a way to make that kienyeji. So I don't know what
Yeah.
they did, but I know rain scenes are expensive. They're one of those
Yeah.
things. If you need to, you ask, do we have to do with the rain? Can we put her in a pool if it's water we need? You fight
Yeah.
it. Personally, as a producer, I fight it because I know the cost.
Mm. You
The
know the
end
cost,
product is
yeah.
going to sort of, it's gonna be
Look
worth it because it
amazing.
looks amazing, but
Mm.
the
But the cost.
making, and the director is like, no, 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 for cinematic effect, hadi anakuingiza box, it has to be like, hey, those are some
Yeah.
of the fights directors and producers have for such scenes.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I honestly want to know whether like theirs was literally natural rain,
Same.
homemade bricks, or
It
it
looked
was a
very
rainmaker.
natural.
Yeah, because it was so heavy, like so heavy.
Emma, you schedule shoot days when forecast is saying it's going to rain and then you pray.
Yeah.
Probably.
You pray that it rains.
Yeah.
Okay. So heading over to costume, makeup, and set design.
Oof. Costume, makeup, and set design. First of all, I
Mm,
don't know if
mm,
it's a Kate actress thing or if it
mm,
was the makeup artist. There's anytime she was pulling off a natural no makeup look, it looked
mm.
effortless. Like
Eh,
it looked so effortless, as like I know she's naturally beautiful like that.
beautiful. Exactly. That's what I was to say. This baby is beautiful.
Oh my god, I was just like, yeah, she's giving the makeup artist at the time.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Every makeup artist dream job is to get somebody with and I'm not saying this against anyone. I'm just saying like it makes the job easier. Yeah. Not in a bad way,
Not.
okay?
I don't want
Sometimes I'm
people to
just saying,
come
man,
at
Kata, you
you.
did my makeup for this film. Kumbe, this is what you've been saying behind my back. No, sweetie, I don't mean it like that.
Yeah, but also the costumes and the set design, I loved. It felt very intentional. Like the
Mm.
set design and the costumes for, say, the baby shower, the club
Oh
scene, the
yeah.
costo.
Mm.
You could tell
Mm.
the wardrobe was not misplaced. There's some club scenes I have seen, and you're like,
Yeah.
did that Shori know she's coming to shoot a club scene? Because that outfit, I'm out. It
You
was,
look
it
like
was yeah. Why does it look like that? Monakwana, there's this
yeah.
question, but the
Yeah.
club scene gave what it needed to give. The coastal
Mm.
vibes.
Yeah.
When the friends were meeting up, I think you called her Monique. I can't remember the name. The friend who
Yeah.
just delivered in the film,
Oh yeah.
like she
Yeah.
was being dressed like someone who's just delivered.
Mm.
Silayo was being dressed like just her character. If it's yoga pants, it's yoga pants. If
It's yoga
it's
pants. Yeah.
yeah, I like
Mm.
that.
Okay. What about Biko? What do you think about his dressing? Seeing that he's representing a certain um class sect of this country.
First of all, I was confused. And I remember writing, wait, what
Mm,
is this relationship between Seba and Biko? Because I need to
yeah,
revisit so that I understand where is
yeah.
it coming from. I think there's a notion or a perception
Mm,
I had in my mind for such a
mm,
relationship that
mm,
probably Seba pulled the, if he needed to be masculine and all that. So I'd
mm,
expect there's something I would see from this other dude that's not just
yeah,
embarrassing,
yeah,
but that is what I normally see in such scenes. You get? So I don't
yeah.
know.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
I also can't like place on it. I mean, if you now start talking about their relationship, you can't tell
Who
who's the
is
masculine
who?
one. Yeah, yeah. You can tell who has the like more power over the other because I don't know, we could be wrong, but sometimes it tends to show in their dressing and their character.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it now, in terms
Mm-hmm.
of, I know we've not gotten there, but in terms of character,
Mm-hmm.
Seba's character was a bit. mild and feminine sometimes. The only time he'd have like a masculine energy is when he was around Aisha. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not even all the time. So maybe that, I don't know. We're not trying to say who was the top or bottom here. We're just trying to see like what influenced their dressing. Yeah.
Yeah, but Seba
Yeah.
had tantrums even with Aisha. There's
Yeah.
sometimes he'd throw tantrums of like, who's the shorty in this relationship? She's already financing you. Can you
Yeah.
chill?
Seva was being financed by the boyfriend and the wife.
And the
What a
wife, like,
life.
what
Yo,
luck?
Nimoh, I mean, somebody saying on Valentine's, because Valentine's is on Wednesday, and somebody was saying, do not cry for us on Wednesday. You knew that man had a man. And I'm like, wait, what?
What?
Like, this is a thing now.
That
That
you
is
knew that
literally
man had a
Seba.
man.
You knew that man had a man.
I thought they would say that man had a wife or something.
Yeah, by the way, we didn't even get to explore much about his life. He was consistently there in Seba's head, but we didn't get to see,
Mm.
him and know a bit more about him. I don't know whether it was deliberate or
Probably there
not.
was some mischief around both Biko the person and that
Mm,
entire relationship altogether.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, the set design, definitely, like we've said, the location, like I love that truck that had whatever leaves those. Imagine Scanner tell me Napier grass. In my head, I thought that was maize.
Oh, it
My
could
God, the
be.
Bontao in me is showing.
Like
Could be, yeah?
he could be thinking Tara, but it could be maize.
It could be
It
maize.
could be.
Yeah. I loved that set, and also like the hospital. First
Mm.
of all, I like it when films show like a hospital that I know. I don't know why, but it tends to bring in the belief more. I don't know,
Mm.
pushing me to think this is reality, and it makes me more invested in the film. So I was
Yeah.
like, and Pisha, Hapa too.
And
So I was like, okay,
yeah, but I
that's
think
nice.
speaking of the hospital, it makes sense
Mm,
why their budget was the way it was. Because if you
mm.
like, they didn't just use one room and then repeat it. They used almost an entire floor of a hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eh.
could not have been
So,
cheap.
yeah, could not have been cheap for sure. Could not have been
Mm,
cheap.
yeah.
All right, now we're getting to my favorite part, which is character development and the plot.
Whew. Mm-hmm.
um, I don't even know who to start with. Let's start with Alex Makideo. His name Clarence.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about his character?
Um. First, he was
Do you think
pissing me off.
yeah, does he represent most of Nairobi men?
Yes, and I think that's why he was pissing me off. How he was gaslighting this shorty, I didn't appreciate.
I was like, what do you mean, Ati? Because you were mad, you went and made that decision. Did you even think about me? I'm like, you've
You've
not
had
got
a wife for a year. Shut up.
shut up. And then like he brought babes to his house.
Imagine.
He broke. I'm just like, eh?
And then how
Please,
he
what are you
was,
doing?
how he could easily lie. Ati no,
Yeah,
Siji, Mama Fua didn't come. I'm the one who cleaned. Huh?
clean. Yeah.
Ati
I
Siji.
will not believe when a man tells me you can clean again. I will not believe that. Ulikuwa unacheza games planning na mama fua. Hey.
Imagine we're traumatized because of that character.
But like he really he brought it out well. Like a clear narcissist, very clearly
Yes.
brought out. Got to
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'd hate to be around such a man.
I remember when
And
Shiko found the eulogy, and then he just
mm,
nonchalantly said, "Oh yeah, we buried her."
we buried her. Eh,
What?
hey, hey.
You know, Siju, everyone thinks she died because I stressed her out. I know she hated. I'm like, you're talking about someone who just died.
Hey,
Someone who I am
hey.
assuming you've neglected for a year. Because if you've been in a
Mm,
whole relationship for a year where you've even moved in, it means
yeah.
the shorty had no idea there's another life. So you've neglected this person
Mm,
for a year. Even
yeah.
the respect the dead, you know.
Yeah.
Ah,
And
like
bibi yako.
he pissed me off. The character, not the
Hey.
person.
I laugh when he finds out that Shiko has picked up his phone, and so Shiko is like, it's Sophie who called,
Mm-hmm.
and Clarence is like, you're calling my so my mom is now called Sophie, like you're calling my mom by her name. I'm like, wewe hata hutaki kujua ni nini ameambiwa kwa hiyo me had panic if I knew I was hiding a whole ass wife and
Hey,
my girlfriend picks up the phone. He's so nonchalant ati,
he's
why are you picking my phone? Eh?
gaslight
Eh?
101.
Nimekupata alafu sasa unaanza mbona nimeshika hiyo simu? Tutapigana my friend. Hapana, I'm not violent, guys. It's just a figure of speech. But
But
yo,
I also didn't like how his character was like a
mm,
symbol of how likely gender based violence can be taken because you don't think
ah,
it's gender based violence.
because it's your
Because
person, yeah.
yeah, because of the dynamics,
Mm.
or we're in a relationship, so that can be rape or sijui what. I'm like, what?
Oh my god. Like this film, it gonna so many triggering things. Because for
Yeah.
me, that scene was triggering. I was like, what is it that makes you push a woman? And the minute you see her lying down there helpless, the first thing you think of is like taking off your pants. I was like, what went off on his mind? Like, what's that?
I assumed he was trying to prove a point because he's just been
Yeah.
told he can't
Mm.
have sex with her because she's carrying the baby and all that. So he's like,
Yeah.
you're actually helpless. Let me show you I can. Fanya chenye utafanya.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really triggering. That was really triggering, honestly.
I know.
Nakam chap. Alafu, the minute he started calling her, you whore, like you're a prostitute, some names, and Kate through the Chico, through the slap. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Now, does this mean that I'm being biased? Like, I understood that slap. It was out of pain.
I
And him
know.
retaliating is
Mm-hmm.
like, wewe umenigonga, so pia mi
Acha
narudisha. And then
nikushow.
and I was like, too late. This is probably how it starts. And of course,
True.
when the man is asked, he will
Mm-hmm.
say, she punched me first. Like she threw the first fight.
But
But if you look at it deeply, like it's literally emotional abuse that now stems out into physical
physical.
abuse.
I was more
Yeah.
annoyed when Shiko was telling Aisha, "I have to work on my relationship.
I'm like, what are you
Every
working on?
relationship has issues." I'm like,
I've seen you once. Nimeona pia wewe na Sebas pia nyinyi mlikuwa na issues, so mimi wacha ni deal na yangu yo
what?
wendo utaandikwa tena.
Imagine now
Eh.
that like that whole scenario painted a very
Mm,
clear picture of the stories you hear of she didn't want to leave because she was working on the
yeah.
relation, like that just painted the
Mm,
actual picture.
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
what?
And the thing is, like, you can clearly understand Shiko. Like, me understand.
Mm,
Like, clearly, I can see how you love this man. But at the same time, as somebody who's not in that relationship, you're like, how could you love this man? He's ugly. He's he doesn't look like. Wait, okay, maybe I should take back my words. Like, he does not look like the right man for you. He had a wife.
yeah,
He's beat you up. He's raped you. He insults you.
red
Nikoti
flags
like, oh,
everywhere.
red flags everywhere, and you still want that man.
You want
And
to
also, when Chico says
uh-huh.
that I did not move in with you because I was poor or desperate,
Mm-hmm.
I like that bit because it
Yeah.
showed the autonomy of a woman. When a woman decides to move in with a man, it's
Mm-hmm.
not because of all this finance. It just could be out of love. Like, I love you. That's why I've moved in with you.
True. That's very true.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, okay, I like that because again, with
Mm-hmm.
the whole femicide conversation that has been going on,
Mm-hmm.
we women have been painted to be gold diggers. I mean, some of us are,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not embarrassed to be gold diggers. But for they did say like she decided to move in with this guy because the guy has a better house, he's more money. Clearly, this was not the case. Just to show that sometimes
Yeah.
women do not do things for the money. It's literally out of love. I mean,
Love
call us stupid, but it was just love. I loved them showing that
that part.
specific thing. I was like, okay, that's good, that's good. But babe, umeenda kuchapwa.
I- im- Imagine, but you can see how like Shiko was not painted as someone who was suffering or who needed
Yeah.
to be in that like she went and flew her friend out because she needed a
To
break.
yeah,
That's how
yeah,
well off
yeah.
she was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, moving on. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we've talked about Clarence and touched on Chico.
Mm-hmm.
Ha, let's talk about Aisha. What is going on with this character?
Hey.
She's going through so many things. I can't even tell what's really molding her because, first of all, one thing to note
Uh-huh.
is her need to be a mom. Like, she just wants a
Once.
baby.
Yes.
Mm,
Hey, Aisha's character is a heavy one.
yeah.
Like she's tried many things. She has
Mm,
unhealed childhood traumas from whatever her
mhm,
mom subjected her to, which she says
yeah.
she's forgiven her for, but clearly she has not. She
Yeah.
has an estranged relationship with her dad, the constant
Yeah.
lying and saying, I won't
Mm,
come because of this. And like she was in a whole 7 year relationship, even the father didn't know about.
mm,
And then there's the whole need for being a mom and being a good, perfect wife. You can see scenes where
oh, yeah.
Seba is emotionally unavailable, like neglecting her. And Kwanzaa,
Yeah.
towards the end of the film, like those scenes broke my heart. When Seba found out that she doesn't have like her uterus, and then he
Are
left
you
with
serious? Yeah.
Biko, and then she's here in the house just drinking. Your need to have someone around you, your codependency is insane.
Mm, mm, yeah.
Her character really broke my heart. Like she was just like she was financially well off, and that was good for her.
Yeah.
Her career and the other aspects of her life were going on well, but she was a
Mm,
very tormented person.
mm,
Can you imagine being able to pull such a 360 on your best friend who sacrificed her life, her
her
physical
life.
human body to help you
Mm,
achieve a dream that you've had for so long, but you could be
mm,
very 360 because you want the approval of this husband and he's told you we don't need that child, you're pregnant. So you
yeah.
turn on your
Mm,
friend of years.
mm.
That's messed up on so many levels.
That's really messed up. Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, the character, like when it started, like you feel sorry for her,
Mm.
and then you start finding out things, and then in the end, you're like, what the fuck?
How did you
Like,
get
who
here?
are you? How did we get here? Exactly. Because the minute she was having the talk with Seba about telling Shiko that they don't want that baby, she was crying, and I could see how like she was sad and emotional about it. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought it would be the same when she was sharing their information because I knew she was gonna
Yeah.
share. But
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect her to be as hard as she was on Shiko. I was like, wait, what?
Imagine until we have a contract. That's our baby. So we decide what
Remember?
happens to what?
Eh? Imagine if somebody did that to you. I've lost the man that I loved. Never mind that he was good or not. Like I've lost him. Because
Yes.
obviously this is even if I was in a relationship and we were good with my man and I
Mm-hmm.
decide, okay, I am going to go and lend my womb to somebody else. That is
Mm-hmm.
something that you should consider your partner because you're two in that relationship. Whatever
Yeah.
happens to your body, if you're planning
Mm-hmm.
to have babies in future, could affect him. And
Yeah.
also his needs, like him wanting to be a father. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, she set aside her whole relationship for you.
Yeah.
She's already lost it. Now she can't do much. She's already a pregnant woman. And then
Heavily
you just decide
pregnant.
heavily pregnant. Oh, and the moment like Aisha didn't tell Shiko that she was pregnant,
I know.
I was like,
That was my
eh?
first red flag. Like, how are you my best friend? How am I carrying your child? And then you
And
get
you're
pregnant, and
pregnant,
I'm not the first person you call.
you tell? Oh,
Why?
hey, she's big on silence.
Aisha's character was just, oh my god. I
Ah,
didn't
yeah,
know
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
actual human beings like that, but I was taken aback.
Honestly, yeah, yeah. I just hope I could. I mean, it is. I'm sure like there are such characters in the society, so I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, what is wrong with you to treat somebody like that who literally said, "I will give you a baby." Like,
Mm.
you're not even paying. Are you renting or lending your womb? I'm lending.
Imagine.
Yeah. Hey, hey.
Hey, yeah, I
Trigger,
don't know what I would
trigger.
do. Imagine.
And then in the end, she decides to steal this baby that she had refused.
Because they have Down
Now,
syndrome.
hey. Alafu sasa sending the fake cops to steal the baby, and I was like, so ulikuwa umeketa huyu mtoto. Now Shiko is already attached to this baby clearly. I mean, some breastfeed and whatnot and whatnot, and then you just send people to come to my house, terrorize me, and steal the baby. Nilikuwa tu like, what is going on with this Aisha character?
So it shows you how messed up she is
She,
psychologically. Can you
yeah,
imagine sitting and orchestrating that whole
like,
thing? Finding
hey,
fake cops and uniforms. Okay, now because we're in film, I know it's not that hard to get some of these things, but I'm like,
yeah,
yo,
you went a long way to do it.
for and then
Like,
it's not just for anyone. It's not like you're stealing a random baby. You're doing this to your
eh,
best
to your
friend.
best friend.
Hey, that was messed
Who
up.
I think if they would have had a conversation, it would, I don't know, I think they would have come to a solution. Considering how much Shiko actually loved Aisha, I
I
think she would have still been
know.
willing to do to do that for her.
Because she knew walking into that it meant she was just lending the womb. Once the baby was born,
Yeah,
it was not hers. She
yeah,
got attached the minute Aisha was like, I don't want that child, get rid of it.
mm,
Just like,
yeah,
no, it's in me, let me decide.
yeah.
Ha, were heavy things.
Ay, like tunafikiria niko tu like wait what, and also
Mhm,
something about that their friendship group. I know most girls have that. I don't know about you, but I
mhm,
also have like that friendship group where like three people or four in a group chat, and like you become like almost best friends. Some of us
mhm,
do, some don't. There's nothing wrong with it.
mhm.
But I could tell Aisha was the uptight one in her friendship group,
Yeah.
especially when she started smoking, and Monique, I still can't remember the mama newborn. Acha tumite mama newborn.
Uh-huh.
Mama newborn tells her, I thought you were did you stop like trying for a baby? I thought you were trying for a baby.
Mhm.
And Angie, who is
Mm.
Silayo, is like, she
Yeah.
lost it. Pia Silayo, her character was giving Yule friend mwenye ako genuine. She doesn't mean any harm, but she'll just say anything.
No
And
chills.
ona kaka jafikiria, no chills, no chills.
And then she's like,
Haujafikiria.
very harmlessly,
What?
did I say something wrong?
Eh,
That's
did I
how
say
she
something?
stated
It's like,
vibes.
Ukweli, she lost it.
Yeah. Wow.
So, and then Aisha doesn't even answer. She's like, who told you?
And she
And
lives.
then, yeah, and she leaves, and everyone is like, "Oh, stop, like it's
Okay.
Aisha." And I relate, and got to like, we all know that friend who's so uptight, you can't say everything around her. I
Around
mean,
her.
definitely, yeah, that's something maybe that would hurt her. So you have to be like careful in the way you're delivering it. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, clearly, ni mtu haezi take just anything. You have to like strategize what to tell her in
But
order not to hurt her feelings.
yeah, you can even tell, like, of the four
Yeah,
of them, the friendship
yeah.
dynamic was stronger for Shiko, Silayo, and the other mama
Oh,
newborn
yeah,
than with, like,
yeah.
Aisha always felt like she doesn't fit in. Like, the others could
Oh,
chat and talk
yeah,
about, let's go out for a drink and to do what. She was
yeah,
never part of those conversations because they knew her
yeah,
character. Labda ni mwenye
yeah.
ataenda awabo.
By the way, yeah. And also, like her need to have a baby, I can't quite place the why. I mean, when the film, like as the film goes on, you learn that she was pregnant at some time when she was, I don't know, 16, very young.
Mm-hmm.
And since the mom was the school principal, had to get a doctor to have her do an illegal abortion, which led to her losing the uterus.
Yeah.
So anytime again she'd come around, her friends and mama newborn, she'd also want that feeling of being a mom
Yeah.
or to be the perfect wife for Seba. I was just like, ni mimi niendelea na wewe,
And
or maybe to just get a baby to be the perfect mom to her own child because her mom was a terrible mom to her.
it was either to prove a point, that
Yeah,
one for, me, I can be a better mother, or I
yeah.
know
Oh, yeah,
from, like, there are people who, when people who've lost their children, whether it was a miscarriage and all that, when they are open to sharing, some say there's
yeah,
a void you feel when, like, you lose your
yeah.
child. So probably that's what she was trying to feel the entire time.
Yeah.
But now, because of the lack of the uterus, she can't get pregnant, which makes her more
Mm,
desperate for this thing that she can't have. And then,
yeah.
unfortunately, she marries, because I don't even understand if they're married, but she has a spouse who is not emotionally understand where she's coming from. One, because she doesn't share, but also because it was more for him than for her. You can tell every time she'd lose a baby, she would ask him if he feels like they have failed. She would check in on him, but it wasn't the other way around. So it was, maybe she was even trying to do it for him. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, if you think about it, by the way, when the dad came over for lunch, they say they had been friends for 7 years. I'm like, friends?
Because
What
I
are those
remember,
people talking about?
hey, I remember when Seba said, until now he's going to organize for his family, his uncles to go see the dad, and the dad says, you better bring a fine because now she's pregnant and all that. That tells me they're not married if they've not even done the traditional ones.
Yeah. And then the dad is like, I've never heard about you, but we decided to keep it private.
7
And that led me
years.
to think, are you being private because Seba asked you to make it private? Or are you being private because you just wanted to hide things from your dad? You couldn't tell like exactly why, but it led me to think like maybe. Yeah.
But you could tell there was a certain closeness that was there between Aisha and the dad that I think probably made her feel guilty, because either she knew the dad would not approve of this man, because I think subconsciously she knew she deserved better than Seba. Subconsciously. So I think she
Subconsciously,
knew
yeah.
there would be that reproach from the family, especially the dad. And she decided to keep it to herself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Now let's talk about Seba's relationship with Biko. Like you've said, the way you wrote it down so that you could come like later on and think about it and like try to figure out. Because I have something to say about it. Um, what I think, like, I know homosexuality isn't explored just not just even in film again, because it's illegal. Like it's illegal to have like same-sex marriages in Kenya. But at the same time, I could see how they were trying not to say it while at the same time saying it.
Saying it.
Because even when Aisha found out, she's like, so you've been cheating with a man. Like it's not very like you did this with this with this with this with this. You know, if
Yeah.
it's a woman, like that scene would have been very different. But now since it's a man, like it was handled very, very differently.
Differently. I remember Aisha
Yeah.
asking Seba,
Uh,
are you cheating on me? And then Seba is saying, there's no other woman in my
no
life. And then
woman.
she's like, because
Exactly.
it's a man.
Yeah.
Like that was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're confirming what I've been thinking.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I think, I mean, I don't have a problem with the way they showed their relationship. I don't know whether there would be a chance to explore more. Like I'd want to know why Seba was with this guy in terms of love. Like we can tell Shiko loved Clarence. We
Yeah.
can see Aisha loved Seba.
Seba, yeah.
But Seba, why is Seba with Biko? Because clearly we saw Biko was the one providing money
But
for,
why?
eh, but why? So, but again, like I said, I know that they're not allowed. So most filmmakers end up giving inferences. So we have to infer. For example, in Volume, do you know, I found out
Mm.
after
Oh,
that,
really?
imagine, because nilikuwa tu like, mbona anamwangalia hivyo, but it did not click. I was like, no, it can't be that. Honestly, I shunned the idea so many times. And I think that's what most of the audience would do if you don't like look like really keenly. So pia hapa, kama haingemenshoniwa, ingepita tu.
Ingepita to
We
you.
wouldn't have known. But I think it would be better to like show a bit more. Because I love the way
I
they showed it in
know.
Nafsi. But for volume, I wish they showed it a bit more. I know like there's a whole other probably a few other episodes coming or a new season. I don't know, but hopefully like they show a bit more. rather than us relying on dialogues in order to infer what
Mm-hmm.
is going on between two people. Like
Yeah,
show
that's
a bit of
true.
something.
I loved
Yeah,
what
yeah.
Nafsi did because now you can see, like, Seba is taken out for drinks by the quote unquote boyfriend or friend,
Boyfriend.
and he
Yeah,
pays the bill or whatever. He's picking him
yeah,
up. They are doing a
yeah,
park and chill, like waiting for
yeah,
Aisha to come home. I was just like, first of all, this is so cute, but
yeah.
guys,
Show more.
yeah,
And by more we know, I know when people think of same-sex relationships, of course, the first thing they think about is sex.
yeah,
We're not talking about sex here. We want to see about their relationship. We've already decided to put it in the film. Then
mm-hmm.
show a bit more. I like the way Nafsi have done it, but
Mm-hmm.
I wish if more films were to do it, like show a bit more about this relationship, so that also people can stop thinking about them like that.
Can stop
But
guessing
then
what is
again,
going on.
I know Rafiki was the one that tried to do that, but we all know what happened,
We all
so
know what
we ain't gonna
happened.
say much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, the relationship between Aisha, or we've already talked about Aisha and her dad.
Mm.
Now Shiko and Aisha, when they were friends,
Mm-hmm.
the understanding between them, like you could tell this is such a genuine friendship. And I know
Friendship.
everybody at the end of the film was like, I wish I had a Shiko in my life.
I know. When you have a
But
shiko, you're grateful. Hey,
mm.
may have a shiko. I thank God for that shorty every day.
Oh, okay. Oh. Nimoh Shiko, hello. I hope atakutumia the link to this podcast tusikize.
I'll send it to her. Skia. But yeah, it's such a beautiful thing to see. You know, like someone would
Yeah,
give their life for you, literally, because that
yeah.
pregnancy could have gone either way, but she
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, for my friend, I will give you that one thing that you can't have, that one thing that you want so bad, and
Mm-hmm.
make it happen for you. That is
Yeah.
selflessness of the highest level.
Mm.
Yeah.
Didn't like if I can't begin to imagine how stressful pregnancies are, and somebody decides that for 9 months I will be pregnant, and for like 3 or 4 5 months after, like
Yeah.
I'll still, like it's still time I'm giving to you because the body has to heal. And
But
in this case, Shiko went through CS, and I know CS doesn't heal in like 2 days or
into
3 days. It takes
oh my
months.
god.
Mm.
Yeah. Niambia, someone who's not your relative owes you
Eh,
nothing.
was you nothing. Yo.
That was intense.
Another thing I've just remembered,
Mm-hmm.
between Aisha and Seba,
Mm-hmm.
who really holds power in that relationship? Or is it like a two-way? Like there are times when it shifts according to how you saw it.
I think it was very two-way because
Yeah.
Aisha holds the financial card. So
Yeah.
anytime they were in a space where money is being talked about, or Seba is trying to do something and she's like, I need the card. So the car is going to
Mm,
get service, so leave the key. You could tell she's pulling that power move for. Isn't it
yeah.
Zango, by the way, in case you'd forgot?
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
also the, which I considered emotional manipulation from Seba, knowing
Oh
how
yeah.
vulnerable Aisha was about having a child and how much it meant for
Mm,
her. When he's
mm,
when he's calling the shots for, tell Shiko she needs to get rid of the baby. We don't need that child
mm,
anymore.
yeah.
Such. So I don't know. Probably they had their turns when it comes to satisfying Aisha's codependency and emotional needs. Seba definitely
Mm,
were the parents, but when it came to the financials, definitely
mm.
Aisha.
It was definitely Aisha, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I also remember after like the affair, there was a time when Seba came, and by this time Aisha was already pregnant, and he comes and holds her and starts kissing her, and
Mm-hmm.
immediately I could see Aisha's sense flying out of the room. She like, no, you Amanda, no, you Amanda, it's gone.
She forgot she
And
was
for me,
angry.
she forgot she was angry at this man, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, what?
I
So
remember that one.
yeah. So I could see how this film explores how money and sexual intimacy have influence in relationships. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I have money, so I have a say. But then
Yes.
again, sexual intimacy, the way they related with each other also had an effect on Aisha. So it's like, damn, this is literally Nairobi relationships. When a babe says she can't leave the man, and we can't understand, why can't you leave that man? He's
Why?
broke, he doesn't have money. Why? Kumbe wetu ndo unajua
Bro.
bedroom.
But let me tell you,
Yeah. Mm.
sometimes you can't. I totally understand Shiko. I do not agree with gender based violence, but when she says
Mm.
she wants to work on the relationship, however ridiculous it feels and it
It
looks
sounds.
from an outsider, yo,
Mm.
the trenches are
Yeah.
very real when it comes to
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, a small thing like could mean a whole thing for someone.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So that, like, this film literally represents a lot in society. They had so many issues. Again, the Down syndrome. I wish they also explored that theme a bit
A
more.
bit, yeah.
Yeah, because there are so many things to unpack. Because
Mm-hmm.
again, there's one, the surrogacy.
Mm-hmm.
There's two, the relationship between a man and a wife, who the man is in a homosexual relationship.
Relationship, yeah.
And then there is Aisha and her mom, like a mother-daughter relationship where the mom decides something on her daughter's life, which affects her for many years, even after the mom is gone. I'm like,
Mm,
okay, I
yeah.
wish we actually saw more of
Of
that as well.
that,
Or
yeah.
not even like by showing, even through dialogues and whatnot, we could have
Mm-hmm.
found out a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And Shiko and her friends, of course, their relationship was quite different between her relationship and Aisha. Like,
Yeah.
they are all friends, yes, but hapa kuna two groups of friends. Kuna Shiko and Aisha, Shiko and friends, and then there's everyone.
Everyone
So it's
else.
like,
That's true.
okay. Yeah, so that's definitely something that happens in our society. You find that there are four girls who are friends, but two are closer to each other. I mean,
Mm,
we've seen this with a group that was on YouTube, over 25. We could see this
yes.
person was closer to this one, and
This
this
one.
one was closer to this one.
But they have
Yeah,
their dynamics when they're all four and all that.
yeah, yeah,
The theme that really stood out for me was surrogacy. I
yeah.
don't think I had thought about it like that, especially like as
Mm.
a Kenyan. I think I
Oh,
was
yeah.
thinking probably isn't if it was you happen Maju. And then it's
Eh.
brought home in such an amazing way. You're like,
Mm.
okay, so there are actually contracts that you can get in for this, and then you get
Yeah,
to see how easily, like how the law is just not straight when it comes to surrogacy in Kenya,
yeah,
because I
yeah,
don't think some of those legalities worked, like they were not fair.
yeah.
Ukotu, okay, I think someone needs to do something about this, because I get the whole
Mm.
helping and making people's dreams come true, but what if they decide
Mm.
to roka you when you're 7 months pregnant like this Shori,
Eh.
like Chico,
Yeah.
then what?
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's, well, now that you mentioned it, I'm like, yeah, like surrogacy definitely was a main theme.
Mm.
And how many people even know what surrogacy is? If we're talking
Good
about the
question.
audience that watches,
Good question.
not many people know what surrogacy is. So in terms of impact, this was a good film. I
Mm-hmm.
went recently to a workshop for GIPA, Global Impact Producers Alliance, and I learned a lot about impact producing.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately I thought of Nafsi and Act of Love, and was like, these are two films that, if they had an impact producer, it would still be a conversation we're having right now, and
Yeah.
probably some policies in place to help with this, especially now for Nafsi.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ways that would help is some policy. Like, is the law really straight? Does it like help you to the latter, like from A to Z? Like, if this happens, this is what should be done. If this happens,
Mm-hmm.
this is what should be done. Or is
That's
it just
true.
like what happened to Shiko? Like, I don't want that baby, so you can get rid of it. I'm like, I've given you 7 months of my life.
Of my life. And then even down no surrogacy out there, like aside for a minute, is it
Mm.
legal? Is it
Oh yeah,
ethical? Is it right for a
yeah.
parent to say I don't want this child because you found out they have Down syndrome? Is
Oh
there
yeah, yeah.
anything that happens when such things
Mm.
happen?
Yeah.
yeah, from a health perspective, like I had so many questions that I'm glad. Probably the aim for the film was so that people can have these conversations. Because I
Conversation,
was
yeah.
like, yeah, it sounds like a human right thing. You can't just say,
Mm,
I don't want this child because you found out they have Down syndrome. But then again,
yeah,
you're the parents and you're the
yeah.
one carrying the child. So what
Mm,
actually happens in such instances?
mm. Oh
Yeah.
wow, yeah, yeah, definitely a conversation. If I was a producer on this film, I still think like there's a way to make bank with it. Like look for the health people who talk about Down syndrome and children with special
Mm,
needs and show them this film. And
yeah.
even for gender-based violence, like this is also a very good film to show on that. Like whatever happened to Shiko was
Mm,
not right. Whether he was the boyfriend or not,
or
whether he was the
not.
husband or not, it was
Whether
not
it
right.
happened one time or many times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Last thing, is the runtime. This film is so long. 2 hours. Literally, we've taken an hour talking about a 2 hour film. But on my end, I
Uh-huh.
think it was necessary
Yeah.
because of how many themes are in this story and how like at
Mm.
first I was like like story hapa ni gani, like it was unfolding very slowly, but like by the time the film was
Mhm.
ending I understood why. It is so much to unpack in 1 hour.
In 1 hour,
So much,
that's
yeah,
true.
yeah. It is too much to throw at the audience like shika shika shika, like no, like
I
I
know.
love, yeah, it
The
was
first time
probably
I watched it, it didn't feel like 2 hours. Because
yeah,
number one, it's not boring. So
yeah,
you're there
yeah,
from the get go. You're just like, oh my God, what will happen to this poor pregnant woman? And then another one
yeah,
gets pregnant, and it's a friend, like, okay, will they keep both
yeah.
babies? What is going on? And there's this
Mm.
whole dynamics of religion and
Oh
traditions
yeah,
and between
yeah,
you. You're just like, okay,
mm,
I want to know how this thing ends.
yeah.
It didn't feel like two
So
hours. I think it was
it
necessary.
it was necessary. Certainly, it was necessary.
Yeah.
Um, one more thing before I forget.
Mm-hmm.
Continuity of pregnancy, Aisha. When the
Mm-hmm.
dad came to visit, when
Uh-huh.
the dad came in, pregnancy ikaonekana. By the time they're getting out of the house, she's heavily pregnant. I'm like, come on, miracle workers, what is going on here? Ni nini mbaya? Like,
In my
no
head
continuity ya kuona.
it was those ones for you shoot
Uh,
interiors in one day and exteriors in another.
the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I was like, wait a minute. Ini nini naona? Because of course now the when
Uh-huh.
the actually by the when the dad mentioned, I see you're holding up well.
Mm-hmm.
How's the baby? Yada yada. When I
Mm.
look at this woman, I was like, she's not pregnant.
It
Mimba
doesn't
imeenda wapi?
show.
It doesn't show. When she's leaving the house, it was too prominent. Heri hata wangeibakisha venye ilikuwa. Judo, we can see the difference. You know, when already it's been talked about she's pregnant, we can
Mm.
see it. Because
Yeah.
in other films, like when somebody says they're pregnant and like, it's like 3 months, hatuhitaji
Mm.
kuweka, because I work in costume, I don't need to like put a pillow or stuff up your tummy. Because it's
Mm.
just 3 months. Some people don't show at 3 months. Hii yake tunaona imeenda mbali. Today you're pregnant, the next minute you're not. Come on. I was like, hey, continuity.
In
Continuity.
my head I was like, I
Uh
was trying to analyze what happened as a producer. I'm like, when
yeah,
they shot the interiors, they had the
yeah,
dummy for Aisha, but when they
yeah.
were shooting exteriors, they didn't have that small dummy, so they used
Uh
the one that Shiko was using, which was
oh
for a
yeah,
bigger pregnancy, so you can see the
yeah,
difference.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
And
yeah.
that is how I broke it down.
Yeah. Hey,
Save cost. We have to
because
shoot.
I was about to ask you, as a producer, can you help me understand what happened? Kama mi
Uh,
mtu wa costume tu naona iti mtu alisahau. Kumbe
alisahau
yeah,
dummy moja.
now that you mention it, probably they used their Shiko because Shiko was, heavily pregnant and we
Heavily
could see it and her
pregnant.
pregnancy looked really real. Yeah,
And then
Aisha, most of,
sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
No,
I'm excited.
there are those four as a
Uh,
creative. You're like, but the
uh,
audience won't notice. Haina your
eh,
difference, cool, but like she was pregnant. She was pregnant.
yeah.
You should.
Tunaona. Tunaona, guys.
But
But
you
what
will find
happened?
this is not
Yeah.
notice because we are
Eh.
creatives.
Eh.
99.9% of the target audience probably didn't even see it.
Yeah. Ah,
Yeah.
okay. If that is so, then that is nice. I'll ask around. I'll ask people who are not in the film industry, and then I'll get to hear what they say.
What they say, yeah.
Yeah. If people did see, please tuache hizo makosa. Tuache.
The one that I saw that I
Uh,
loved, that I thought was hilarious, was
uh,
the empty suitcases when Aisha and Shiko went on vacation. Like the way that dudes just lifts them, I'm like, yeah, they're empty. I
yeah, because
laughed.
knowing the way girls pack for vacations, yeah,
I
yeah.
know. I was like, yeah, they're empty, but it's okay. We move.
We move, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, now that you mention it, clearly me sikuifikiria. So, okay, yeah, you might be right. The audience probably doesn't notice because it literally
Exactly.
sikufikiria. But now that you mentioned it, I'm like, by the way, aliziitwa like Superman ndo shiko
Super.
akaanza kusema Milton Obote.
Uh-huh. You
Okay,
see.
okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Um, so we're coming to a conclusion. Is there anything I've left out? No, not really. What is your takeout on this film?
Uh, First of all, I'm sad we're finishing, but anyway. My takeout, it was a worthy 2 hours.
Mm,
I remember the first time I watched it was when it was dropping in theater, and I went with
mm,
one of my friends, and we're like, "Yeah, this one." First of all, it was a
mm,
Ruben Udanga film. I'm like, "Yeah, he. I don't
yeah.
think he's ever disappointed me, so let me go see." And then
Mm,
you didn't even realize it's 2 hours, so I think it was a worthy 2 hours. I
okay.
loved the educational, the evocative, or I don't even know if that's proper English, but how it
Mm,
evokes you to think.
yeah.
Like you need to think,
Mm,
oh wait, legally is that how this happens? Or wait,
yeah.
in friendship dynamics, is this how
Mm,
people behave? Or wait,
yeah.
in relationships, can someone hide a family for a year? Like it
Yeah.
had some instances, and the storyline had so many things that made me think, which I loved,
Mm,
because
yeah.
then like if you're writing a film in line with health, pregnancy, and all that, I'm like, Ruben did it so well. I could learn one,
Yeah.
two, three things, and then I
Mm,
didn't like this, so this is probably what I'd do different. In terms
mm,
of production as a creative, I
mm.
enjoyed the learning.
Ah, okay.
I
Okay.
enjoyed the
Okay.
learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. We think we should just stand there and clap for you. Hooray!
I'm a
But
student of
yeah.
life and creative.
Oh
Every
yeah.
day I learn.
How on a scale of 1 to 10,
Mm-hmm.
rate this film?
Wow. 1 to 10, rate the film.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, 8.5.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm.
Is that high or low?
No, it's the
But
same as mine.
there's no wrong or right answer. Oh, yours is 8.5 as well.
Yeah, in my head, I'm like, I think this film is an 8.5. Yeah.
Then we're in the spirit. It's an 8.5 because I don't think it disappointed in terms of the
Mm,
writing, the character delivery, the
mm,
cinematography, the
yeah.
music. I don't think it disappointed. So yeah, I'd
Yeah.
give it an 8.5 purely because there's always room for improvement for something. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
if Ruben was to do the same film today in
This year. Yeah.
2024, we would be
Yeah.
mind blown. But
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was nice.
Mm, yeah. I also think the same. For me, it's also an 8.5 because I love the story. I mean, they had a theme and another, so it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't the same boring story for 2 hours. It was
Yeah.
very like with every new scene there was something else to look forward to. I loved how they incorporated the sound. Like there were scenes where they put like some sound which made you feel like something bad is going to happen.
Mm.
I was like, okay, that's good. You built my anticipation.
Mm.
Like you say, there's always room for improvement.
Improvement, yeah.
Continuity is a big deal for me. Um, I'm sure the color, I loved it. Like I think now that I think about it,
Mm-hmm.
they were very deliberate on their mood. Like there
Yeah,
was a certain mood they were going for, and they got
they
it.
achieved it. Yeah.
The music. course, Ilayo did an amazing job because
Oh.
I saw some two songs that
Mm-hmm.
she was the one who published them. So I was like, okay, girl, this is so good. This is so good.
If you don't listen to
Um,
Silayo, start.
yeah. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is nice. So for me, it's an 8.5. Like you said, I'm sure if they're given the chance to do the film today,
Mm,
they'd do much, much more.
yeah.
That's why we're giving them that room.
Mm,
So yeah, basically that was a good film. That was a good film,
it
honestly.
was. It was.
That was a good film. It didn't bombard me. Like it was nice. And it left me sad.
I know. She was
It
arrested and
left
she was
me sad.
crying.
It
I was
gave
just
me so
like,
many emotions.
I felt for her at the end of the day. She might have not been the best of friends and all that, but I felt
Yeah,
for her at the
yeah.
end of the day.
Yeah, I was like, sasa unaenda jela babako ndo atalea mtoto.
Ama
Oye.
atarudi kwa shiko ama cause
Siko.
bwana ashaenda, like what's gonna
Exactly.
happen?
I love it when a film does that. Like it gives you questions and leaves you on a cliffhanger to think
Yes.
about, okay, what could be the possible end? Because
And
this still doesn't look like the end.
mm.
That's amazing. Kuliko zilikuwa tunawatch kitambo za Philippines. That they get married and then they write there 2 years later they have a
They
child.
have
The
a
child is
child
running
and a
around
dog and a beach
and a
house.
dog. Karibu tuanzie pia life story ya huyu mtoto. So that was really nice. That was really
Yeah.
nice. All right, we've come to the end of this episode. Oh my god, this has
Sadly.
been sadly. Like I'm sure we could talk more and more because like every time I end an episode, I say we have not talked about the premiere, but I know I'm going to do episodes where we talk about the distribution part of filmmaking,
Mm-hmm.
which I hope you'll come on board for. It's a conversation I actually want to have with you.
I would
Guys,
love
Nimo, like I
to.
said, was a producer for an international film that I did. Simply again, ningetaka kujua like how like she got such a grant or like such an opportunity. So those are the conversations that we also want to have.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Nemo.
Thank you for
Guys, thank
having
you
me.
so much. You're welcome. I hope I'll have you on again next time.
Hala at B.
I will. I will. Thank you. So, guys, thank you so much for listening. Nemo has a podcast. I don't know why she failed to mention that. I've been giving her time and space. So, Nemo, now is your chance. Tell the people what's the name of your podcast.
My podcast. I
Yeah.
don't say it's not for creatives, but it is a different side of me from how people know me as a producer. But the podcast is
Okay.
called Finding Nemo. It is on Spotify only for
Mm-hmm.
now. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So guys, if you haven't listened, go listen and see another beautiful side of Nemo. You can find her podcast on Spotify. You can also find my podcast here on Spotify, on Google Podcast, and on Pocket Cast. Until next week on Monday, 10 a.m. It's a wrap. Bye.
Bye.